The boys has got the say, of course, and they're gonna cremate her and do a funeral service later. So.
I couldn't find the
Is the funeral here too, or just the burial? Yeah. Mm. It's good to be here tonight. Just thank God for each one of you. Pray for Rick and Pam. Rick texted me this morning and said that he had a terrible cold. Well, Mom has talked to Rick since then, and him and Pam's got a terrible cold. So it's what everybody else has been getting pretty much, I guess, or one of the things that everybody else is getting, because Terry's had her bouts with it, and we've all had some kind of cold. Seems like all of us has had some kind of crud or something one way or the other. So I guess it's Rick and Pam's turn, unfortunately, but y'all just pray for them. He said he just didn't feel like being here tonight. And like I said, pray for the Sandy's family. Like I said, the boys, Blake and Brock, and I don't know the rest of the family, but anyway, remember Kay and Glorgine too, of course. But like I said, they're going to cremate her and do her service at a later date. So just pray for that family. And then remember Darren Creed's mama, Becky Creed. She passed away Monday. They're doing her services Friday. Funeral's at 11, visitation 10 to 11. The burial part is private. It's according to the Elkin funeral service. And Debbie, I think, is going to put on the whatever you call it, the phone message thing about Sandy and Darren's mama sometime. But anyway, y'all remember Darren and all the family. And me and Karen didn't realize that Cindy Simmons is Becky's sister. All this time, we hadn't put the two and two together. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Well, when it said his name, Howard Reynolds, is the daddy, I was like, wasn't that Cindy's? Yeah, okay. I figured it out then. But like I said, she was a blessing the other week at the nursing home. She uplifted my spirits quite a bit, just being around her for a few minutes that day. So y'all just remember that family, though. Remember Darren and all of them. Like I said, there was a pretty long list on the family that was listed. So, and then remember the Terry Bird. Randy's been mentioning him for a long time, but remember that family. Of course, like I said, remember Jerry and Roger and the ones that's been sick in the church, the different ones. Y'all keep remembering them. Jerry was here Sunday. We just keep remembering them, Ellie and Peggy and all the different ones. There's so many. Gay and Dot and Gail. It takes me a while to think about different ones sometimes, but you know, the Lord knows. The Lord knows all of them. But y'all remember all of them. It's been sick, and like I said, seems like so much going on. And remember the fires that's going on in California right now. That I can't seem like I can get the water pressure to put the fires out, and I don't know what's going on out there. I don't know. Who knows? Huh? Yeah, but like I said, it could be the start of it, the start of the end. Who knows? We don't know. But like I said, because you think about fire, I don't know. The Lord knows, and He can put it out. So we just have to keep praying. We have to pray. As long as He allows us to be here, we got to pray for one another and pray for the people out in California that something can be done. If it's God's will, something can be done. His son, Shane, passed away. Oh, was it? I'd been meaning to call Danny, the daddy. Yeah. He had problems with his liver a while back. Yeah, he was having liver, and I think he was having maybe possibly liver failure too there at one time. Yeah.
I went to school with Shane Myers.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason they called him Shane, just to keep him separate from his daddy. But yeah, I remember that family too. I didn't realize it, and they had the funeral. Was it Sunday? It's sometime this past weekend. And if I didn't.
I don't know if y'all know Doris called and Gary called. Gary passed away. He was buried yesterday. He had the Derek's disease. And Emily called. Went to Eastwood to, I don't know if she was your age. They left her mother in Bridget's age, but it's her dad. Gary called.
Yeah, I know the name sounds familiar to me, but I don't know how.
And then Marvin Blackburn, I
Yeah.
think they were supposed to move him out of ICU into a regular room, but he's had several people strokes, and he's just not doing very well. That is, Marvin is Jimmy Preacher when he was little. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, he'd already lost two of his siblings within the last.
Brother and sister
Yeah,
within the same week.
yeah.
His sister is, Jen. No, that's his, I'm sorry, I'm
His
sorry.
sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law,
Jenny
Jenny Lyles.
Lyle, she calls Jenny Lyle, that's his wife, his sister.
I'm sorry, I was,
Yeah, that family's been through a lot of.
Jenny she's just recovered from hip surgery, so she can't help take her. Miss Betty has got like crippling arthritis, and they got to, she has to wheelchair where she doesn't know.
Mm.
Mom and wife, so there has to be somebody there to take care of her.
I know they mentioned that a little bit Flint Hill that night that I think maybe had they already took Marvin to the hospital then? I know they mentioned about the
I think so, because I think he had his first stroke in Friday. And then he had three back to back before they got him to the hospital. My thing, he had some more when he got to the hospital.
yeah. Y'all remember him too in that family, like I said. I remember Danny as one of their brothers. He was there that night. I should have went and spoke to him. I remember talking to him. He used to drive a feed truck for Tyson. Me and him talked a few times when he was out there.
We got another phone call this week too. His cousin Loretta called requesting prayer. They've done some testing on her and they think it's possible she has cancer. So y'all will remember her. She asked us not to pray that it wasn't cancer, but that it was just not let her suffer. So this is one that her sister died last year.
Very, very young sister.
Yeah, she buried her sister and brother last year, so I'll just pray for her. It's Loretta Strike.
Through that.
There's just so many people that's hurting and so many people that's passed away just in the past week. You know, it's just.
my brother's wife, remember her, she had the knee replacement after that. I remember her.
Just remember this request here.
Remember, Steve and Joel having us a thing. Joel had been dodging, I think they all had it, again, real sick, and they supposed to went back to New Zealand having us a thing today. But he moved Friday, and now they think Joel's got it, so I don't know how they're gonna get it shown that Joel got them, but Susie got them now.
Mm-hmm.
If they're well enough to go back. You run the finger, you didn't give them no plane.
No, they're gonna pretty much stop that pretty quick.
Susie's gonna have to start coming during the summer here, because he comes in the winter and ends up getting sick. So, it's winter there, so he'll just come in summer.
Yeah.
Seems like I get sick here now.
Just remember them. They get to go back home soon, I guess.
And all them types of cold,
Yeah.
all the people still at the west part of the country don't have ample shelter. You know, I can't imagine what they have to go through. We all naturally come in for one place, come home for one place, got one place to lay down.
Mhm.
Some of those people still have nothing.
Just do remember, because it's colder there than it is here, and it's cold enough here.
Yeah.
And like we said there a while ago, there's a lot of people out here suffering. Seem like it's, I don't know, it's cold weather, winter, and just everything seems to compound right now. Seems like. Is there any other prayer requests? Always pray for me. Like I said, I desire your prayers. I don't feel worthy to ever try to stand. And tonight seems like it's like I told Benjamin and back there. I said I was drawing a blank. So I just letting the Lord try to figure it out here. I mean, let the Lord show me here in a little bit. But y'all just remember all these prayer requests. And I don't know. What does everybody feel like? You feel like we ought to have an altar of prayer? So much going on. So many people losing loved ones and so many sick. And maybe that's what we need to do before we do anything else. It's just, like I said, there's just a lot going on. And y'all don't forget to always remember Karen's mom and daddy and my mama. That we get to look at them when they're getting older and just things going on. Just reality sets in, I guess. A lot of times, the longer you look at them, and like I said, Kayla's been through it with her daddy here just recently, and just you watch things happen that you know it's not the Lord's coming. I mean, you know, He's going to come get us all, or He's going to come and get us one at a time, and He keeps getting one here and there. Seems like a lot around us. And just, I think maybe we ought to have an altar of prayer tonight and just take it to the Lord and just, like I said, pray for Rick, Pam, like I said, and all the ones, Adam, all the ones that's got colds right now. Like I said, it just seems like it's hard to kick it this time of year because the cold weather just seems like it just makes it linger longer. So, but I think that's what we'll do, have an altar of prayer tonight, and then the kids can go to the classroom. We'll talk about something maybe. We're gathering the altar. We take for granted sometimes, Lord. We realize, Lord, sometimes it may not last forever. We just want to thank you, Lord, praise you, Lord, for that. Pray, Lord, you did all these special prayers that's been spoken tonight, Lord. There's so many, Lord, that have been mentioned here. All the ones that's sick, Lord, up in hospital, Lord, cancer, Lord, Jesus, ones that's got the different cold people, Rick and Pam, Lord, and Adam and Sophia, and Joel and Susie, and just Billy and Martin Blackman, Lord, and she's been ready to let the room maybe do a little bit better, but you know, he needs a special touch with you, and we pray what you do, and Lord, just be with the families and soft up, and Sandy Mathis family, Lord, and Becky Creek, that family, Lord, and just be with Terry Bird and that family, Lord, just seems to be so much going on, Lord, just be with the ones that's dealing with the fire in California, Lord, just pray what you do, keep them safe, Lord, just bless them and help them, Lord, and just have your will be done, Lord, and just put out the fires, Lord, and pray, Lord, that people will draw closer to you, Lord, realize that the day's coming, and this world's going to be over with. This world's not going to last forever, Lord, but there is a forever coming. And that's when it comes with the will, and that's when we start spending eternity with you, or we're punished and sent away from you into hell. Lord, we just pray that you draw people to you, Lord, just to help us, Lord, to lead people to you, Lord, just help us be a better witness to you, to pray more for you, Lord, for everything, Lord, just pray, Lord, we just get stronger and stronger for you, Lord, instead of weaker, Lord, and we just want to draw closer to you, Lord, pray that you touch and have your will and way each and every one's life, Lord, just to the teachers tonight, Lord, just bless them, Lord, just be with them, and just help us, Lord, to be what you have us to be, Lord, it seems to fail you too much, Lord, we pray, Lord, you just help us, Lord, just strengthen us, Lord, just use us, Lord, for your word. We just want to thank you for each one that's made well tonight. We bless each one. Just thank you for the opportunity we have to go in prayer to you, Lord. Just pray to you. We just want to leave it to you, Lord. Just leave all these special needs with you. Just have your will way in each and every one, Lord. Thank you again so much for all you do. I'm just going to go with us and keep us safe. Lord, we're so many of us safe. Bless us, help us to keep us. And that's what we're going to do. We pray. Amen. They say getting old's not fun. It's coming to all of us a little quicker, I think. And like I said, I told Ben to go back to the beginning. Maybe just read some of Genesis from the beginning. I mean, the beginning of the beginning. Where God started it all. Sometimes it's good to go back to the beginning. I don't want to go into Psalms because I'll let Rick finish it up. We just may read through some of this in Genesis, like I said, because we can see so much of this each and every day that we still live. Because it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And people still looking to how Earth and everything started. People, scientists keep on still trying to figure out how it started. I mean, it's right here in front of us, and we believe it. They just don't want to believe God's word. They want to think this is just a story made up or just another book. But in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, and the heaven's waiting. He's still been working on heaven, I guess, until we get there. But some going on before us. But he's still working on that, still getting it prepared. And but I mean, we know it's already prepared, but he's getting it. He likes to do perfection on that. I'm thinking heaven's going to be a perfect place. We ain't going to have any more sorrows. We're not going to get old. It's going to be a totally different than what this life has been, as far as getting old. And just think about that. They're calling for snow again. It's the prettiest thing you ever see falling out of the sky. It's a quiet time when you go out and listen while it's falling. It can make life a little bit more hazardous as far as trying to get out doing anything, but it's one of the prettiest things he ever created. Once it's over and it starts melting, then it's about the ugliest looking thing you ever see because it gets muddy and everything else that goes with it. But, just they're calling for it, but we don't know what. There's one that knows what he's going to send it or not. And a man I worked with one time, I'd look up the sky and I'd talk to him what the sky looked like. And he'd tell me, no, probably not going to this time, and it didn't. And then I'd tell him about the sky the next time, looked up and what I seen. He said, yeah, it's coming this time. And like I said, just looking at, you can tell things by looking at the sky if you can figure out what it's saying. Can't always figure that out, but it don't tell you how much, or I've never figured that part out. But the aches and pains sometimes tells you that some kind of cold something's coming. In your achy joints and stuff, it sort of tells you. But there's just a lot of people does not realize that God is the one that's done it all. They want to mock him and try to ridicule him anymore, and that's I think he's got to be getting tired of it. I mean, it's gone on long enough now, but and the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. We know that God's always moving the oceans right now. If you go to the beach, I don't think it ever stops. It may get slow at times, and sometimes it gets real rough, but God's moving them oceans. I know the moon has something to do with it, but who put the moon there? You know what I mean? So God put the moon there, as we get ready to see in the first day. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning was the first day. God put the sun where he did, and all of us has went through school and figured out that the earth actually circles around the sun, right? Or the earth is sitting here spinning, and just how the sun rises and sets each day, right? All these teachers in here ain't getting no responses, but the earth's supposed to be on the axis, and it turns, and then it ever so often we go. How often is it we go all the way around the sun? Because we're sitting here spinning, but then we also are going around the sun, and we're not, right? God made it all. No matter how it works, God made it all. Scientists and science teachers always try to explain it all, and they didn't get it all. I didn't, like I said, I know God put it there and God made it do it, and it's there. And the moon is the same way. But, God put the light there. He put the light there and if anybody's worked third shift before, He put the light there for a reason. And put the darkness there for a reason. You can't sleep during the day as good as you can at night. Never will. Never will happen, will it? You just can't. You can sleep during the day, but it won't be the same as at night. But, God did this for a reason. He gave us a night for a reason. And like I said, all these jobs and stuff messes up our clocks. It's all about the dollar, and it's all about getting this product here, this product there. So, like I said, but God created all this for a reason. He wanted us to be able to rest at night. He wanted us to be able to get some sleep. But this body can't go 24/7. I tried it some. It didn't last too long. But that's He gave us the night to help us rest. And here's the second day, and God said, "Let there be firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. In the evening and the morning were the second day. So here God created heaven. He created. He's divided the waters. Created. Just created so much here. He's done so much for us. He's creating everything the way He wanted it to here when He was creating it. He created it to help us all to understand if we just read His Word. And God said to let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called He seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. So he put the grass here. He put the trees here. He put the trees producing fruit after their kind. He put the dry land here for different creatures to live on dry ground, and then the waters, of course, in the seas. He put, which he does the animals later, but he created this for certain animals to live in the seas and stuff. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So here's where He actually put the sun and the moon to be the light Sun's light during the day and the moon's light during the night, and then the stars. It's a little cold for me to go out right now and look up at them, but I like to look at them at night and get in a dark place and just look at all the stars. It's just amazing how many there are. He knows exactly how many there are. Has anybody ever tried to sit there and try to count them? You'd lose count pretty quick, I think, trying to count them, but he knows exactly how many stars there are there. He knows exactly where they're at. He knows that he made them in constellations where humans could see the Little Dipper, or the Big Dipper, or different things. I mean, he made these things for us to see His majesty in His works here. And then, like I said, we were just reading through it. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. So we see here that this is when he actually put the creatures in the water, and put the birds and all the different things in the air, all the winged creatures flying around. And, you know, I don't know how many different kinds of fish there are in the ocean. And I know there's scientists that's probably studied it. But do you really know if they know every kind of fish there are in the ocean? But God does. He knows every different kind of fish there are in the ocean, don't he? Just like he knows every grain of sand there is. Scientists try to figure it out, but they don't always work. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth after his kind," and it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. You know, we fuss about some of the creatures that we have to deal with sometimes, spiders or flies or stink bugs this time of year. But you know, God created them. I don't know what he created them to be the pest they are sometimes, but sometimes we have to deal with them. But then man's messed it up in some ways too. But, you know, he created everything for a reason. And then we're here where it says, "And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which it is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So here's where he created everything that lives. I mean, he created man, male and female, man and woman, to live upon the earth. This is not necessarily, it goes into the details more about Adam and Eve later, but, this is talking about him creating male and females and we were supposed to be over all the fish of the air and over all the living animals, and then he saw that everything, he made, and it was good until the sin comes in to the humans and to mankind. And once sin come in, then there's a lot of trouble started then. But, he created us to serve him, to worship him. He created us for his, to enjoy ourselves while we're here, and to realize it don't last long. But we're to worship him, to praise him, and to honor him in everything we do, and we're supposed to lead others to him. And it seems like that's where I fail a lot in this life, is witnessing like I need to. It's easier, it's what I've talked to people about here lately, it's easier to sit down with a fellow Christian and talk and eat with them than it is to sit at sinners with sinners and talk to them. Just like the Sunday school lesson was that this week or last week, where Jesus sat down at Matthew's or Levi's house with the sinners and publicans. He said he had no reason to save that which is already his. He needed to sit down with the lost and lead them to him. That's where I guess we need to be strong in the faith and be willing to, once in a while, and step out of our comfort zone and witness to the lost out here and sit around them and, try to be example for them. We're supposed to be example for them. But has anybody got anything on this? Like I said, I've sort of skipped through it, just sort of. But we know he rested on the seventh day after creating everything through the 6 days. And I guess I've sort of joked with people. I said ever since he's made man, he rested the seventh day. Ever since then, he's not been able to rest since. Because man won't leave him alone. Either us as Christians, we pray to him because we're supposed to, or he's looking on the ones that's ridiculing him and trying to throw everything at him and say he's doing all this bad stuff, and he's just sitting there being calm and trying to show them that he's not causing it. He's watching everybody through it, trying to help everybody through it, but he wants them to look to him. I mean, we all need to look to him at all times, and like I said, a lot of people in this world just don't realize they need to look to him as bad as they need to look to him. Sort of been jumbled up, I guess, tonight, but has anybody got anything at all?
What you just said, that could be the reason California shaped very good. You be careful when we can lose and see what's in it. They're not falling off the ocean to bring it up. It's always in the wind.
Because we know after he made mankind, and it went on for a while, that he destroyed mankind in the flood, except for Noah and his families, because of the sin. But the rainbow, we've talked about it several times. I go by what he said in his word about the rainbow. He said he'd never flood the whole earth. I know we had flooding in the mountains, and I know a lot of people lost their possessions, some people lost their lives. But he didn't destroy the whole earth with it. He destroys places here and there to make us remember. I think sometimes that's not to make us remember, to help us to remember that he promised he wouldn't, but to make us go to his word, to look at what the next thing will be that destroys the earth, and it's what Jimmy just mentioned, the fires and stuff. That's what's going to destroy the earth the next time, is it not? That's what I've understood. So, oh yeah, they're going to blame it on climate change. Blame it on Trump. Just wait and see. They'll blame it on something. Mm. Yeah, I know they always talk about the millions of years ago. I mean, we don't know what was here, nothing about it, but
This is in Genesis 8, verse 22. But while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. God didn't trouble.
well, they've been talking about climate change. They've been talking about what the global warming.
Yeah.
It's really warming up right now, ain't it? But you know, and the thing about it is, they always talk about that, and you can go back. A lot of the records, as far as the hot, was set back in the early 1900s. A lot of them wasn't they? I mean, like 100-degree days or something like that. There was a lot of hot days back long before now. A lot of things is in cycles. If we can figure out the cycles, I mean, like I said, this last summer, it was pretty hot, but it wasn't hot enough. None of us liked it. But now look at what we're dealing with now, the cold, and none of us likes that either. I mean, not the real cold. But he puts it all here for a reason, and he's not stopped at. I mean, it's, like I said, some winters are mild. Last one was a fairly mild one, best I remember. 2 or 3 years ago, it got real cold Christmas. It was down to single digits. I still remember that. So, he's in control, and I'm so thankful he is. He don't give us anything that we can't tolerate some way or another. Like I said, Brother Jimmy's talking about the people without homes. That's tough. It's got to be tough. We was in Boone a couple of weeks ago, and they had actually got everybody out of the tents and got them into something else, I think, right before that cold snap hit 3 or 4 weeks ago or something. Anyway, they tried to have them in some other kind of housing when that real cold weather hit, but I don't know if they got everybody, but they tried to get the ones that was in the tents that they had set up. So, but like I said, we can't never quit failing to pray for them, because like I said, we've not faced it like they are right now. And I mean, you know, some of you may have faced not having a warm place to stay, but I've always had a warm place to go to, and I'm thankful for that. Just like we get in and out, go out in this cold air. Karen goes in the door at the house. She said, "Thank God that we got a warm place to come into." And just like here at church tonight, it feels good in here. When you step out them doors, it ain't gonna feel so good. But not to us. But like I said, God don't. I guess He's toughening us up a little bit, as far as. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
electricity. They don't go to church tonight, they got anywhere to do it, they got to call the boys to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's their choice, I mean, no, I understand. They go without fire, they just keep right on picking the next day, just like they would today. The fire was still there.
Yeah,
We just was full, we're full of people.
yeah. You're right there.
So much for them.
Yeah. But Daddy used to talk about a coal stove somewhere that said in here that was how they heated the church. I don't know where it was at. Daddy talked about it. He remembered that. He remembered that. And I'm sure there was times that seemed like I remember him talking about during the winter, a lot of times they could feel the cold air coming through the house. They'd cover up blankets and all, quilts, and seemed like I remember that, him talking about it.
It's something that long ago.
Mm-mm.
I remember as a kid, we only had to eat one room. Well, the bedroom, that we did. As long as it's really waiting on, you couldn't turn over.
I remember when there wasn't but air conditioning in one room growing up. And that was in the bedroom where Daddy slept.
And it wasn't open.
But,
Oh, man.
yeah, but he had that window unit and had fans blowing it out to our rooms at night. But, yeah, I remember the windows open, attic fan drawing the air in.
Yeah, we had air conditioning on, 4 or 5 of them, fans blowing, and something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My aunt used to talk about, people said it was the good old days. So there was nothing to do with that. She loved her running water, she loved her bathroom in the house. So when she was a child, she was the one that had to get the water, had to go out to the outhouse, wash outside. So it was a good old days.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
But now for them, once, people that had the wood drugs, once they got those virtues, they were moving.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling them, good old days gone.
Yeah. Well, it's just like all of us sitting in here. They didn't want one of them. And then you tell Logan and Sadie that, and it's like, they look at you, I was like, you had a landline. That was all. I can remember the rotary dial. Some of y'all can remember the party lines, probably.
We were at the Down Creek house, before we came in here, and there was a kitchen, hanging on the wall. It was fun. They had one of them cords, a big stretch saw.
Yeah.
I asked Becky, I said, you know what that is?
Don't ask the kids, for the kids to go home along the bathroom and go and start the phone wall. But on the bed, I say, when I call my mom and dad, I don't know about it. They go right over the stand and start the phone. I said, what are you doing? What do you do? I said, pick up that receiver. I didn't know how to use that. Like that.
After I told her what it was, then she remembered, because Ronnie Bobby still had it.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging in the kitchen. But if she's, it's like she's talking about, Becky couldn't, she wouldn't know how to call this, because it's the old rotary dial. She wouldn't know how to call it.
And to tell you the truth, me and Karen talked about it. We thought that was the funnest thing in the world, to sit there and do it. Back years ago, Now it's like people wouldn't want to take the time to even think about trying to use one of them.
We went to the food club.
Yeah. Yeah, time's moved on, like I said. We went too far. Technology's gone too far. Like I said, phones has ruined the kids.
It's a little while ago.
Yeah, it's ruined a lot of adults. I mean, and then therefore the kids is running behind them as far as a lot of times. I don't know, just things are a lot different than they used to be. You think about you know, what we was talking about there, that's back like mom and dad's days. You think about Jesus' time, there was no such thing as a phone at all. You walked, or you rode a donkey, or occasionally a camel maybe. But that was the only transportation, pretty much. David used to pick at the boys sometimes. He said, you know, I was talking about going somewhere. He said, you got the heel toe express. And they looked at him funny. He said, yeah, put your heel down, toe down, and start walking. But, you know,
Things are not what they used to be.
no.
They're not.
Yeah.
That's God.
And not what we're going to be. We're not to that point yet. Because I'm still not perfect. There's going to be a day that we're going to be perfect. We may be made perfect, won't we?
You know, you might not have a TV in their house at all. Pretty sure it sets lights off. It's having to do this. Think about all these kids, they can also, they can play video games. So they got to do that rather than sitting there staring at a screen.
Mm-hmm. And them kids can play and sing.
And I think a couple of them already done with business with the next stuff. So it's not all.
You remember?
That Lily's granddaughter that married.
He's practically got a little church.
And remember one of the girls played the piano, and there was
Lily's grandchildren, great grandchildren.
a boy and two more girls. I can't remember, was there 4 of them or 5 of the kids?
There's four kids.
I think all of them can play the piano,
That
but
was probably only 3 ones here, and she's taking the courses.
no.
There are 3 girls and 4, right?
But,
3 girls and 4.
yeah.
Mhm. I'd heard people not having TVs before, but we're all spoiled to that too. But you'll find, if you come to our house, we very rarely watch news. Because all they're going to put on there is bad stuff most of the time anyway, so. Or majority of it.
Yeah, there's 5 now. And
Yeah. Look it up on Facebook. Well, we did that today. She did that. Was talking about somebody. She looked them up as far as who they were or when their birthdays was. Yeah, because Ronnie's is today. And we got to talking about, I was trying to figure out when Donna's was, and Tyree's was. I think it was February, but just different ones in the family. Trying to remember. But anyway, we've gone off the subject, but I hope y'all have enjoyed it tonight. Like I said, we've took what God's created and the knowledge that He has gave us, and we've figured out some ways to make our own mistakes along the way, have we not? He knew we'd never be perfect. Jesus was. And I think about that a lot each day, especially when I fail Him. Like, you did this without this problem. And I can't, sometimes I can't even make it a minute, don't seem like, without doing some kind of something this against. And Jesus went His whole life.
And we still need
Mm-hmm. But He is here for example for us to live. That's our goal, to live like He did. To live like Christ. Has anybody got anything else tonight? like I said, just keep Rick and Pam in your prayers, and all these families who's lost loved ones, and all those with special physical, or that needs a special touch from God physically. Try to remember them. Like I said, my mind sometimes can't remember everybody, and I try to. It's hard, especially when it seems like the list gets long. You leave somebody out, and I don't want to leave somebody out. God knows. God knows what we're facing. He knows what we'll face tomorrow. And He's there waiting on us to ask for His help to face it. I believe that. Anybody got anything else tonight? If not, I ask you to stand to your feet and ask Brother Jimmy, if you would, to dismiss us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you again tonight, Lord, thankful for good days to give us, Lord, and the ability to be in your house tonight, Lord, and study and talk about your word tonight. Thankful for Brother Dale, Lord, for being a leader, Lord, and ask God to just always bless him. Each time he stands and everything he does for you, Lord. Lord, we're just so thankful for this church, that we do have one place to come and worship and honor you, Lord, in spirit and truth. God, we just ask for all those that are sick tonight, Lord. You know each one of them. You know each one of them by name. You know each need that they have. We ask, Heavenly Father, Lord, that you reach down and touch. According to thy will, we but breathe on tonight, Lord, that you send comfort to them their time of need, Lord. Those with cancer and other diseases, you know what they are. We ask, Heavenly Father, Lord, that you be in each one of them according to thy will. Lord, we ask that you use us where it is that you see fit. And we'll always do our best to give you the praise and honor and glory for everything that you do for us, Lord. Lord, we're so thankful, Lord, for these prayer requests that you've been mentioned. Lord, we're so thankful for that unspoken request, Lord. We know that you still hear and answer, God, those unspoken requests. We're thankful, Lord, for all you do for us. Lord, we ask you to watch over us and watch over us with the snow that may be coming this week, Lord. You just help those that may have to be out and about, Lord. Lord, just watch over and take care of them, Lord. Most of all, Lord, our heart's desire for that lost soul, Lord, that there's not. Lord, if they'd see that need, Lord, it's time to be late. Again, Lord, be a road without, Lord, you know that they have, and pray, God, that you lead it, according to thy precious will. Go with us, lead, God, and direct us. And we'll do our best, Lord, always give you praise and honor, Lord.